apparently overdosed this weekend are expected to be okay, but the story is alarming. Police say a group of 3 to 4 children and teenagers were upstairs at a house in Springfield when the overdoses occurred just feet away. A 12-year-old girl walked downstairs at that house and found the 4 women unconscious. She picked up a phone and called 911, and she's now being credited with saving their lives. This all occurred at 182 Ambrose Street in Springfield at around 12:30 Sunday morning. Springfield Police Lieutenant David Kane told 22 News the 4 women had returned to the house following a night out, and that's when they apparently overdosed on heroin. The 12-year-old girl was one of 3 to 4 children and teenagers upstairs at the time. Police believe they had been left at home alone earlier that night. Lieutenant Kane said all 4 women were given the opiate reversal drug naloxone. They were then rushed to 2 hospitals in Springfield. Now, this incident is a reminder of just how bad the opiate epidemic has become in recent years. Last year, there were more than 1,500 deadly overdoses statewide. We did call the police this morning to find out whether the children who were at home at the time are now in DCF custody. That information was not immediately available. We do know that DCF was notified, but so far no criminal charges have been filed. We'll continue following the story for you on air and online at WWLP.com. You can also get any updates on our mobile app. We're live in Springfield this morning. Tamara Sakarzik.
The service member has received a proper burial 75 years after his death. Fireman 3rd Class Edwin Hopkins was buried with full military honors in his hometown of Keene, New Hampshire this weekend. He was killed during the Pearl Harbor attack back in December of 1941. He was then buried in an anonymous grave in Honolulu. His family had no idea what happened to him until DNA science confirmed his identity many years later. Now, one of those family members lives right here in Connecticut. This man, Tom Gray, a cousin in Guilford. Gray says yesterday's funeral was a day to celebrate now that Hopkins is officially.
We begin tonight with a major drug bust in Pawtucket.
3 men are facing charges in connection with a massive marijuana growing operation that spanned 2 states.
And now we're learning more about what investigators found in 3 local buildings and 1 home. Eyewitness News reporter Madeline Wright has the details live from our control room.
Shannon, Steve, police say they received several tips about the grow operation, which led to a lengthy investigation. They arrested 2 suspects on site, and the 3rd turned himself in. From the outside, it looks like just an ordinary building. But inside, police say it was a massive grow operation right across the street from Luis Rodriguez's house.
I'm just surprised that it was all going on over here. You know, you never think it's going to be that close to home.
Police say they found more than 300 marijuana plants, 8 pounds of hash powder, and $7,200 in cash. The raid took place at 3 commercial buildings in Pawtucket, 1 on Central Avenue and 2 on Sabin Street.
Certainly smelled like those 300 plants, that's for sure. Joseph
Moretti owns an auto shop next to one of the buildings. He says his customers often complained about the smell of pot next door.
I thought they were 100% legit. I thought they were running a good business out of there.
The 3 men renting the buildings are now charged with manufacturing marijuana, possession of marijuana, and conspiracy. 61-year-old Dana Johnson from Seekonk, 36-year-old Michael Warner from South Hamilton, Mass., and 44-year-old Matthew Brown from East Providence were all arrested between Wednesday and Friday. This man is neighbors with Brown.
He was just different for a neighbor. You know, you don't know who your neighbors are, I guess.
Police say they also raided Dana Johnson's house in Seekonk, where they found 40 pounds of marijuana, a sawed-off shotgun, and cash. All 3 suspects were arraigned in district court either yesterday or today. Brown is free on bail. The other 2 are locked up at the ACI. Madeline Wright, Eyewitness News.
In San Diego, a driver is facing charges after his truck flew off a bridge yesterday and into a crowd of people at a park below. Police say that driver was drunk.
I could see a car flying up in the air. It looked like Superman had just lifted up a car from on the bridge and threw it right off the bridge. I could feel all the dust and the dirt coming in my mouth. Pieces of car parts were flying all over the place.
It's horrible. It's horrific. Obviously, there was people down below. We have, bodies that were, they're, innocent people that are just down here having a good time, and now, now they're gone.
9 other people were hurt in that accident. A 19-year-old UConn student is dead. She's been identified as Jeffney Pally from West Hartford. A UConn Fire Department SUV running her over early this morning on campus. Now state police are investigating exactly what happened. News 8's Renee Schmiel spoke with her cousin. She joins us live from the Yukon campus with the very latest. Renee.
Brian, it happened at this emergency complex behind me just after 1 o'clock this morning. That's when an emergency call for help came in. Pally was sitting on the ground outside the building, just outside the garage bay with her back to the door. The door was opened and Pally fell backward onto the ground. The emergency responder drove out of the garage bay to respond to the call and then ran her over. Pally's family is devastated. She's from West Hartford, and that's where News 8 spoke with her cousin, who says he's still in shock. He tells us she was kind and full of life.
So many different things that she was known for, that she did. There's not a minute where she was just sitting idly. She was just going to places. She had so many friends, so many activities. So, there's so many different ways I would remember her by.
The Yukon sophomore wanted to be a nurse. Anybody who saw what happened or knows what she was doing before the accident is asked to call state police. Reporting live in Stores, Renee Schmiel, News 8.
All right, Renee, thank you very much for that report.
Good morning. It's Sunday, October 16th. Thank you for joining us for 22 News at 7:30. I'm David McKay. We're following breaking news out of Westfield, where a deadly car accident occurred overnight. 22 News reporter Rachel Fazio joins us live in Westfield with the latest information.
Westfield Police Sergeant Mike Kane told 22 News police were first called to the intersection of Russellville and Cabot Road at 11:30 Saturday night for a single car crash. One person was killed and another injured. The injured person was taken to Bay State Medical Center, but no information has been released about their condition. The accident is currently being investigated by the Hampden County District Attorney's Office. Russellville and Cabot Roads were closed for several hours while police investigated the crash, but have since reopened. We will continue to update you with new information as it becomes available, both on air and online at WWLP.com. Live in Westfield, Rachel Fazio.
Out of cocaine in Springfield. Springfield Police Sergeant John Delaney told 22 News police conducted a drug raid at 33 Hamlet Street around 7 o'clock Friday morning. After searching the home, police found 100 grams of cocaine, drug packaging material, and a 12-gauge shotgun. Police arrested 44-year-old Felix Ortiz. He's been charged with trafficking in cocaine and illegal possession of a firearm. He was arraigned in Springfield District Court on Friday. Police Saturday morning. Springfield Police Sergeant John Delaney told 22 News police saw a stolen car driving down White Street just after 1 o'clock Saturday morning. They pulled over the car and saw cocaine in plain view on the front seat. After searching the car, police found 148 bags of heroin stamped with the logo Ice Cream. Police arrested 32-year-old Raul Olivio and 27-year-old Jennifer Quieras. They have been charged with several crimes, including possession of cocaine and possession of heroin with intent to distribute.